I'm Shayla. Dysautonomia has completely changed my life. It has stolen my entire adolescence and made me spend months bedridden and defeated. It has broken me down to my most vulnerable self and forced me to have to say goodbye to my old, healthy life. The lack of awareness about dysautonomia, both in the medical community and general society, has made my fight that much harder. But as a fellow dysautonomia warrior, I pledge to advocate. Dysautonomia may have our past, but that does not mean it has our future. Together we are in this fight to raise more awareness.
October is Dysautonomia Awareness Month. It is estimated that 70 million people worldwide are living with various forms of dysautonomia. Dysautonomia is an umbrella term referring to the malfunctioning of your autonomic nervous system. Your autonomic nervous system controls the automatic functions of your body, like your heart rate, digestion, breathing, blood pressure, temperature regulation, and much more. Dysautonomia is what one would call an invisible illness. A person with dysautonomia might not look sick on the outside, but they can be very unwell on the inside. POTS, which stands for Postural Orthostatic Tachycardia Syndrome, is a form of dysautonomia that is said to affect 1 to 3 million Americans. 85% of them are female. Even though it isn't well known, POTS is actually more common than multiple sclerosis and Parkinson's disease. Common POTS symptoms are increased heart rate upon standing, fainting, tachycardia, nausea, severe gastrointestinal distress, shaking, inability to stand, and many more. 25% of those diagnosed with POTS become too sick to attend school or work. Dysautonomia is not rare, it's just rarely diagnosed, and that is where the problem lies. Christina Tournant was valedictorian of the 2014 graduating class of Osceola High School. From a young age, she embraced life's adventures and excelled at high levels of many sports and academics. From the time she was tiny, she was focused, motivated, and driven. She was accepted into the college of her dreams, MIT. From an outsider looking in, you wouldn't see the health battle that Christina was fighting though. Since a young age, she was prone to infections and spiking high fevers. As she got older, her symptoms got worse and new symptoms began to appear. Eating had become so difficult that she began to lose weight. Even drinking water made her very uncomfortable. In 2013, Christina was diagnosed with mononucleosis, and her health was never fully restored after that. While in conversation with a friend, Christina's mother first heard the word POTS, and a simple at-home test showed that Christina's heart rate from laying to standing increased by 40 to 60 beats per minute. Clearly, something was wrong. In July of 2014, she was tested and officially diagnosed with dysautonomia. But because Christina was still excelling in academics and sports, the doctors said her case was mild and she would just grow out of her symptoms. No one had ever explained the possibility of her health getting worse, which is what happened. In January of 2015, Christina sent a text to her mother. "I think my body has kinda given up on me." Christina's mother knew she needed to get to Boston to be with Christina, but with the bad weather in Boston, she wasn't able to arrive until February 17th. It was then that Christina broke down and told her mother just how sick she had been. She was too weak to walk to class, she couldn't concentrate in her lectures or concentrate well enough to read, and she was so fatigued she was sleeping 19 hours a day. With the bad weather, she had limited access to the medical help that she needed during this time. It was clear she had become too sick to continue with the semester and needed to medically withdraw. Christina and her mother headed back to Tampa. The goal in Tampa was to have Christina rest and heal as she was battling from a severe upper respiratory infection, while her mother and her father researched out-of-state POTS-specific doctors. On March 6th, they had planned to review their findings with Christina. On Thursday, March 5th, with no hope that she'd ever get better, Christina jumped to her death. If just one of the many physicians and specialists Christina and her mother saw along their journey had known about POTS or dysautonomia, Christina would have been diagnosed much sooner. The average diagnosis time is 6 years when it should really only take 15 minutes to diagnose someone. There is an urgent need for awareness among the public and the medical community. Will you join us in continuing Christina's fight? For more information, please visit www.thedysautonomiaproject.org.